After 2 weeks off, the H&W Electrical Truck Series returns for the start of round 2 of the playoffs. 4 drivers were eliminated after the last race. 8 drivers remain. For the next 2 races, they will battle it out. Who will put themselves in a comfortable position after tonight, and who will already be on the outside looking in? It all begins right now at Martinsville Speedway. Good evening, everyone. I am Joshua King. I am very excited to be back to playoff racing action tonight. We will talk to a couple of the drivers momentarily, but first let's take a look at our race info and race details for this evening. Martinsville Speedway is the location. It's 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 45% humidity, partly cloudy and low winds. For a reminder, since we've been off for a couple weeks here in the H&W Electrical Truck Series, 150 miles is normally the race length. They have actually cut this one down this season to 75 miles, so 150 laps will be the distance tonight. Still 80% fuel, however, 4 sets of tires. No fast repair. That could come in big here. Green flag stages at 25% and 50%. So it is going to be a good one. Let's take a quick look here. And as another reminder, you can see some names on your timing tower that are highlighted green. Those are the remaining playoff drivers. Aaron Brown currently sits second quick in the practice session, just behind Michael Weissman, Brady Floyd, Latham Joyner, Chris Pierce, and Jacob Wilson, Kenny Cooko have put in times out of your playoff drivers thus far. Let's take a quick look here while we have a moment to see your playoff drivers that remain. Latham Joyner leads the way with a huge lead, so something catastrophic would have to happen for him not to go cruising into the final round, I would believe. Dylan Canova sits in second. A lot more modest points battle there as you go through the rest of the field compared to Joyner. Kenny Cooko sits in third. Brady Floyd coming into tonight sits on that cut line. Jacob Wilson starts fifth coming into tonight in round 2. Chris Pierce is 6th. Adrian Fernandez 7th. Aaron Brown sits 8th on the outside looking in with some work to do. 3 out of the 4 Adra Esports drivers sitting outside of the cut line right now, but to have 4 of them in the playoffs is impressive enough. So they will look to bring a couple drivers to the final round, as well as Cooko eMotorsports. As you can see there, Latham Joyner and Kenny Cooko representing Cooko eMotorsports with 2 drivers currently above the cut line, 2 drivers in the playoffs. Let's go back to the practice session. Let's take a look at a couple guys that are on track. There's the 10 of Aaron Brown in his very familiar paint tonight. Jeffrey Lemire in the 15 is out on track. He currently runs 4th quick. Timothy Presley in the 01 battling in practice with the 10. And here's Premier Racing Setups Ford. Here's Jeremy Gill, there he is, in the fairly new black and white Chevy for mid-tier racing. Good looking, simple paint there. I like the mix, and the white numbers is cool. Brady Floyd there in his AdraEMotorsports.com number 20 Ford. As we make our way through, there's the 65 of Chris Pierce. Jacob Wilson behind him currently in the 51. Christian Proctor in his Tide Ford 13. Everyone racing similar paints. Good to see Jake Raven back with us tonight in the black and gold 37. Still love that truck. Jake was the playoff driver. Just noticed I gotta get rid of the display amateur hour here after a couple weeks off. I apologize for that, folks. But where is the truck we're looking at here? What the heck's going on with that? That's interesting. It's like these trucks aren't showing up. We're all sorts of thrown off. Everything is different. And any truck I go to is not showing. Give me 1 second here. Very strange. Not sure what's going on here. The overlays are working. Close out of this because I have everyone up on my screen. However, you cannot see anybody. That isn't good. All our cameras are goofed up here. Stand by. We will be right back. Let's see here if we're in better shape. It doesn't appear like we are. Something is way off. I don't understand why any truck I show is not showing there on the screen. We're looking at the 01 of Timothy Presley. Big problems here going on. What in the world is happening here? We'll be right back. All right, folks, it would appear like I fixed our issue. There we go. As you see now, the 10 of Aaron Brown on track. Man, I apologize for that craziness here. I'm so glad I realized that, though. At first, I thought it was just a matter of the overlay being up, and turned out it wasn't. So, let's try to get a word here with the person we're going to talk to, which is the 03 of Nick Raffini. Nick, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
I do. You got me?
I certainly do. Thank you for joining us. Apologize that it's just slightly late. Had some brief technical difficulties in the booth, but how you doing this evening?
Well, I thought I'd be feeling a little bit better after turning some laps a few weeks ago, but these guys are looking quick tonight.
They certainly are, Nick. You barely missed out on making the second round of the playoffs. You're having a heck of a season. How do you kind of move forward from that and close out the season strong, maybe even get in victory lane?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just look at it this way, is that, I don't have to battle anybody. for making it to the next week or anything like that. I'm just going to race and see how good I can do.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good chance to not only just kind of relax, come out, have some fun these last few weeks, but then also try to build the momentum going into season 3, I would say, right?
Absolutely, and been running some Gen 6 leagues and races and trying to get a little bit of wheel time behind those, and I think next season will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this race. We've been off for a couple weeks, but we're back in action tonight. Before we let you go, tell us about your new paint you're running this evening.
Yeah, I've been hooked up with the Revved Up racing team the last few weeks. They've been welcoming me in and helping me out with some coaching and everything like that. So they've been a lot of help, and they hooked me up with this sweet wrap. So I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, right on, man. Any sponsors you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you go?
Nothing really, anything specific. Just what's on the car, and again, like I said, Revved Up. Thanks for the opportunity.
Right on, Nick. Well, thanks for joining us once again. Sorry it was so late and right up against the caution laps, basically. But best of luck to you tonight. Maybe we'll be talking to you after the race.
Thank you, sir. I hope I will.
All right. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Once again, folks, that was the 03 of Nick Raffini joining us in the booth briefly this evening as we take an updated look at the practice time so far. Latham Joyner has went to the top of the board in his bright 3 Chevy. That's for Kukoe Motorsports there, I believe. Potentially. All over the place here. 2 weeks off, the whole system is messed up. Just kidding. We're going to have a great broadcast here, folks. Welcome in if you're just joining. Timothy Presley, very good lap. He sits second in the 01. Currently not on track. Here's the 74, Michael Weissman. Just absolutely love that paint. Always rave about it. Good to see Weissman back with us this evening. Aaron Brown, we took a brief look at him right after we got the technical difficulties fixed. And let's take a look at the 70 of Dylan Canova in the purple and white Chevrolet there. We got, he moved up to second quick actually just now, so not far behind Joyner. A lot of quick times here throughout the top 10. Only a tenth separates the first place guy currently in practice. Almost 2 tenths, I would say, back to 10th. We got a quick look at Brady Floyd just a bit ago. There's Jim Thorndike in the red, white, and blue 59 Chevy Kukoe Motorsports machine. Jacob Wilson in the 51. We mentioned his name earlier. We couldn't see him, so I had the graphic over him. Rob Higgs Jr. in the really nice, bright 14. Man, that's a nice one. The Simplify mid-tier racing Chevy there, Ford rather. I have to get with Rob Higgs Jr. of the 14. See how long it took him to do that. Very, very cool tailgate on that thing. Let's take a look at that. Oh, man, Rob Higgs Jr. All right, got himself on there. We're giving himself a purple nurple, it would appear. But the red, white, and blue American flag there on the tailgate. That's very cool. Let's take a look now at Justin Waddell in the 33 Captain Crunch machine. This is the second night in a row, guys. We've seen Captain Crunch car, last night was the car. These guys have finished up and they'll get ready to go qualifying here at Martinsville. We take a good look at it from the blimp cam. Very small, very technical track. As we get ready to see some of these trucks make their way out on the racetrack. There's the 69 of Marty White in the SM Racing Products mid-tier racing machine. He comes around for his warm-up lap, and as always, we'll keep you updated who goes to the top of the board. Marty's coming around for his first lap as he enters turn 3. I think he'll be the first one to turn a lap. And no, Christian Proctor first one to turn a lap. 20.49. Marty White faster than him. Rob Higgs Jr., look out. Good thing he got a time in for his first one. A lot of jockeying now. Chris Pierce in the 65. Let's see, Jeffrey Lemires in the 15. Shane King is out there in the Royalty Motorsports mid-tier racing. SM Racing Products, number 60, Ford. As he put in a time of 20.34 on his first lap. He will improve 19.76 on lap 2. Dylan Canova temporarily to the top of the board on his first lap with a 19.39. Latham Joyner, quick time. He takes it over 19.29 by a tenth. He got Canova on his second lap. Michael Weissman, good lap, but he is done now, so he will sit second. I heard he was quick, 19.33. Brady Floyd is just finishing up now as everyone. Lemire's going to be the last one to put in a time unless Jake Raven elects to. He is. He's out on track now. Let's take a closer look at him as he'll crawl to the start finish. Jeffrey Lemire, see where he goes. Maybe didn't count the first one. Didn't see if he tapped the wall or if it was just his outlap so far. This one will count, though. It would appear Jeffrey Lemire. No time being shown for Lemire, interestingly enough. Not quite sure why. What's going on with Jake Raven? He has not set a time either yet, unless not quite sure here, folks, why we haven't had times from the 37 or the 15. Interesting deal. Now Jake Raven put in a time of 40.16, but that clearly is, I think he's just setting a time to set a time and start on the tail end of the field here. Marty White, hello, sir. Michael Gerard, let's go. JMR, yes, sir. Jarrett Martin Racing. Let's see. We didn't get a look at him. Jarrett Martin not out there currently. We'll get to him in the grid lineup. We'll have a grid for you here momentarily. They'll have their warm-up session. Let's cut briefly to a ad from one of our great sponsors here at Royalty Racing Network. Stay with us. We are back with you, folks. They have just finished up their drivers meeting, apparently, and now a couple drivers have elected to go out there just for a really quick lap or two, basically, from the warm-up session. Still waiting on the grid for you, but I promise as soon as we have it, we'll bring it to you. You can see the timer there on your timing tower that we are less than 4 minutes away from kicking this round 2 off of the top tier H&W Electrical Truck Series after the holiday layover. I'd have to assume that a lot of guys, most of these guys, probably had more than enough time to put in a good amount of practice over the break, if you will, and they'll be ready to go tonight. Someone's looking to punch their ticket to the second or third round in the championship race. Robbie Miner, welcome in, buddy. Robbie Miner, folks, races in the Hold Your Brakes Academy League on Monday evening, and I got the pleasure, along with Drafty Beef last night, to call his victory at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and man, was it a good one. Go back and watch it in the Hold Your Brakes Academy playlist right now. That was live last night right here on Royalty Racing Network. Just getting ready for a grid here anytime. Robbie, how you feeling after last night? You still celebrating long into the evening and throughout the day, or did you have to do what most of us do and go to work today? Not sure if you guys just heard, but someone having a good time there on the racetrack just blew the engine. Might have been Brady Floyd, who's in between pit road and the garage area, I'd assume. So we take a really nice look, and we have a grid, folks. Look out. On the pole tonight is going to be the 3 of Latham Joyner, State Tune Esports number 3 there. To his outside is going to be the 74 of Michael Weissman. Dylan Canova in the 70 rolls off 3rd. Kenny Cucko in the 11 rolls off 4th. Jim Thorndike in the 59 starting 5th. Chris Pierce will start 6th in the 65. Jacob Wilson in the 51 will roll off 7th. Brady Floyd in the 20 will start 8th. Timothy Presley in the 01 will roll off 9th. Drafty Beef, good time for him. That's the Royalty Motorsports Chevrolet in the number 2, starting 10th. Jeremy Gill and Rob Higgs Jr. will start 11th and 12th. Onward, Justin Waddell in the 33 will start 13th. Nick Raffini in the 03 will start 14th. Christian Proctor in 15th. Shane King in the 60 will roll off 16th. J.D. Van Kirk 17th. Jarrett Martin 18th. Randy Schuler 19th. Kelly Akron will round out your top 20. Marty White will start 21st in the 69. Jorge Ledesma Jr. in the 44 revved up racing machine will roll off 22nd. And couple cars left to show you. That is Aaron Brown, or Jake Raven rather. And Aaron Brown, who will start 23rd and 24th there on the tail end of the field. And Jeffrey Lemire in the 15 there will start dead last shotgun, but he'll move up, I promise you that. Let's go to the front of the field here as we see the 3 of Latham Joyner getting ready to take us green already, it would appear. And let's go to our starter cam. We got a good view right behind the overlay of Mr. Barney getting ready to go back to work this evening in the top tier H&W Electrical Truck Series round 2 of the playoffs.
Green.
And we're green. Let's kick it off with Latham Joyner as they head into turn 1. Gonna try to keep a close eye on all the action tonight, folks. We'll bring it to you as we get it, of course. Looks like we already have a couple crashes. It certainly is not Latham Joyner. Let's see what happened here. Brady Floyd is the first one to come up on the list. That is certainly not it. I'm not quite sure what that meant. How we looking here? Let me go forward just a little bit. What happened here? Looking for something. Welcome in, Amber. Appreciate you joining. Robbie Miner says Kelly 19. Yeah, Kelly Akron, he had himself a heck of a run. Not sure why I was getting dinged for crashes right there. This might have been it, though. The 69 of Marty White. That is him. He locked it up and just went around. No damage. It doesn't appear on that thing. Maybe just slight bit of damage on the tail end, but we take a look at our drone cam. We're going to give you a lot of drone cam tonight and probably some unique looks as we go through the field here. It's kind of tricky. We'll take a look kind of from the blimp. It's so zoomed in, and then we'll go the drastic blimp cam, which won't show you much of anything here. The scenic drone taking a look there at the campers and race trailers not even on the track, so we will make note to not go to that one. But anyway, Latham Joyner leads on lap 5 here as we work caution number 1. Shout out to number 8. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I want to take a look at the number 8. There he is right there in the Procore Chevrolet as he blinks when we put the camera on him. That is the number 8 of Jarrett Martin Racing. Has some fans in the chat. Amber's looking for Jarrett Martin to do some work. Martin's going to restart this 17th, folks. For those of you pulling for him, Aaron Brown already went in to get probably some damage looked at, I'd assume, since he was the one to get into that car, the Marty White 69. And unfortunately, it does look like damage on the front and tail end of that machine. So we will see how that impacts him as they stack him and rack him already to go back on a restart. Latham Joyner will lead us to green as the green flag is out once again, and into turn 1 he goes. Michael Weissman looking to hold on to the inside through Dylan Canova here as they battle side by side. Around 3 and 4. Take a quick look here as that battle cools off. Kenny Kuko looking to hold off the 65 of Chris Pierce for the time being. Now that gives Jacob Wilson an opportunity on the 65 as they battle hard. This is the battle for 6th currently. Jacob Wilson much quicker on entry, but 65 of Pierce will get a good run. Brady Floyd being patient right behind both these fellas to see what might happen. Jeremy Gill found some comfortable scenery rolling along. Drafty Beef is still rolling 10th as he's going to take a look on the inside of Brady Floyd now. And we'll see if he can't get that done. Side by side into turn 3 they go. Oh, and squeezing him Looks like Floyd's going to hang on to it for now. All comfortable and everyone minding their P's and Q's as we take a look at the 8. Getting passed by the 10 of Aaron Brown. That battle is for 16th, so Martin's still hanging out where he restarted this race. Shane King there right behind them. Jeffrey Lemire, as we see now Timothy Presley battling to hold on to 15th from Aaron Brown. And now Presley way up the racetrack. Keep it out of the wall, buddy. He will. The 60 in anticipation will now get passed by the 15 of Lemire. He's already up 7 spots. Our early biggest mover as we cross for lap 13, though, is going to be Aaron Brown, up 8 already. Jorge Ledesma Jr. in the 44 hanging out, being patient right now, and Kelly Akron in the 19. That's a good looking ride there for the 19. We got caution, and looks like it might be J.D. Van Kirk in the 22. Let's see what happened to the 22 this time. He just catches the apron. Oh, and goes around. Luckily, he was near the tail end. Nobody hits him. No damage for the 22 as we get back to the leaders. And let's take a closer look here at the new looking ride of the 19 of Kelly Akron. That is nice, man. And the JMR Ford. Jarrett Martin Racing representative, Palm Coast, Florida. Kelly Akron, nice looking paint. Good paint scheme there. Let's go back here to our leader, Latham Joyner out of Hopkinsville. He works at Lowe's. Apparently thinks he is a pimp, folks, as it says there on your screen. Dylan Canova in the 70 still runs second. He's out of Lakeland, Florida. Michael Weissman in the 74 Cuco E-Motorsports Chevy still runs third. That paint done by Press Gas Haul Ass Designs. Jim Thorndike up to fourth currently. Chris Pierce hanging out in fifth. Not a lot of big movers so far. Jacob Wilson up one as well. He runs sixth. Jeremy Gill, is up 4. So he's our second biggest mover of the night. Sitting in 7th right now. Brady Floyd, even Steven to where he started the race, hanging out there in 8th. Kenny Cuco is in 9th, down 5 so far. Right in the hornet's nest. And Drafty Beef will round out your top 10 out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Justin Waddell up 2 out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Nick Raffini is 12th. Spoke to him in the pre-race show, and then that bright purple and pink 88 of Rob Higgs showing the 14 on there, but he is listed as the 88 for the series. As they get ready to go back green now. Let's take a look at them as they take the green flag, already working caution number 2. Look out! Thorndike nearly lost it. Everyone in front of him was paying attention. Whoo, that was almost a quick third caution. He'll settle back in. Now, hopefully, bumping and banging with the 20 and the 51. And the caution already out again. This time, Jorge Ledesma Jr., the recipient of the caution flag cause here. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if he just didn't know if the 10 was there or not. Let's take another look at it here. 10 comes up fast on his outside and then dives in, and Jorge just didn't have enough time to react to it. That one's a pretty easy one to figure what happened there. Yeah, Clouded says, ouch. I agree. Tough deal for Jorge Ledesma Jr. already. He's been involved in 2 wrecks. One of them he got bumped by the 69 of Marty White. That one, not sure quite what happened, but he's down pit road. Marty White's still looking to get some damage fixed. He likes the cautions. Of course, you don't get a whole lot of time here to get in when you're single file during the caution laps, because let's take a look at it from the cam we jokingly said we wouldn't look at. That cam right there. You can see how far back the tail end of the field is. So by the time you get into pit road and into your pit box, you don't have a whole heck of a lot of time to get any damage fixed before you got to jump out and avoid being lapped under caution. So interesting there, but you know, they'll come in a couple times here and there. We'll see if we don't see one of them near the tail end of the field this time go back down. No, it doesn't appear like they will. Clouded, yeah, you joined just in time to see that one, huh? We are already working the 3rd caution here, as there they go back to green. Hopefully this one will stay green for a little while. Latham Joyner continues to lead. Dylan Canova, though, going to give him a run on the inside this time. Not going to have enough to do it, but he will give him a look on the on the front stretch, rather. Still not going to have enough as the strong 3 pulls away. Single file a long way through now. Jeremy Gill maybe flirting with the idea of taking a look on the inside of the 11. And caution is already back out. Timothy Presley, it would appear. Let's see if he wrapped anyone up with him this time. Oh, Jarrett Martin just went right into the apron. And once you do that here at Martinsville, folks, just no chance to save it. I promise you, I've done it before. Let's take a look here from Jarrett Martin. Point of view on the chase cam. We'll go far chase. You see, oh, he was already loose. Tried to save it and went up into the 01. Not good for the 8 there of Martin. Already 4 cautions, folks. 27 laps into this thing, and we have a long, long way to go. Amber, fortunately, I think the 8 truck avoided anything significant, as he actually has not even brought it down pit road. Or has he? Where is he? Where is that 8 truck, guys? There he is. He did not. He has elected to not bring it down just yet. Oh, as he continues to blink. Let's see. There's Timothy Presley. He has a little bit of damage, I'd have to believe, there. Marty White still getting damage fixed from before. And Latham Joyner still leads the way. I'm hoping for a nice green flag run here to call some good action throughout the field. But 30 laps in this time around, and already 4 cautions in. Every caution is about 4 laps. You guys can do the math from home on that one. As the 3 will lead us back to green already for the 5th time tonight. And a good jump into turn 1. The 51 of Wilson. Oh no, it's Brady Floyd from the front of the field. Goes around already on the restart. That's from the front. And folks, that is not going to help his playoff chances. As I know we have a ton of time left in this one, but he's going to have to work his way all the way up again. Folks, he started about mid-pack here, just above mid-pack on the field tonight. Now he finds himself on the tail end, with the exception of Marty White, who's 2 laps down. Marty White is absolutely loving this because he can not only come in and get damage fixed, but if he stays clean in the cautions, he'll continue to get laps back, as we see the 20 of Brady Floyd dive down to get some damage fixed. Tough deal there. Self-spin for the 20. But our biggest mover right now is Jeffrey Lemire. And we're going to see if we can't get a word from Mr. Lemire. If we can find him somewhere here. Well, apparently we will not. Oh well. Anyway, Jeffrey Lemire, who you take a look at on your screen in the black 15, is currently up 11 spots, doing very nice work, managing his way through the field with all the cautions we've had so far. A good mix of patience and avoidance for the 15. It would be fun to see him continue to go up through the field here. But let's get you back up to the guy who will take us green once again, and there we go. He's off to another good jump. Everyone keep it straight now. Jacob Wilson on the outside of the 70. 70 will power off the corner and clear him to stay in second place. Oh, and now Kenny Kucko is around in the front. Man, oh man, as he takes a tow quickly. I don't know why you would have done that. We saw it happen, but I mean, let's go back anyway and take a look. I don't know if he was loose before or if he got touched. Oh, he definitely did. The 65 of Chris Pierce sent him around, got him into teammate Jim Thorndike to add insult to injury there. And let's take one more look at it from this angle. I mean, we saw it clear as day. We don't have to dissect it. 65, man, just booted him straight up into the wall, but instead of the wall, he found Jim Thorndike. And that is not going to make the 11 happy, and I promise you, The way this race is going is not going to make the 11 happy either. Wendy Brooks says, "You got this, Jacob Wilson." He's having himself a strong run right now, running in third behind Latham Joyner and Canova. We got a long, long way to go, but if he finished right where he is now, that would be a good start to his round 2 of the playoffs, Wendy. So stay with us all night long for that action. Folks, you're not going to believe it. We're not even 40 laps into this thing. We still have 112 to go, and we're working caution number 6. So not good. But either way, we have the work to do here, and Aaron Brown now takes over from, no, I'm sorry, it's still Jeffrey Lemire. He's still up 12 now. Still our biggest mover. Randy Schuler behind him up 5. And Jarrett Martin up 7 as they go green once again. Quick caution there. Update on Marty White. He is back on the lead lap. So we see the 3 continue to lead. We'll run it down. We haven't gotten any green flags, and the caution again, guys, is out as the 01 locks it up, and now I think, oh my gosh, now he runs into the 2. What in the world is going on here? Cue the circus music, folks, because this one is getting out of hand early. Already our 7th caution. Nothing really to run down there. We saw it happen. The 01 locked him up, went around, hit the wall. Then found some other trouble, and Akron spun the 60 of Shane King. Well, we're going to take this opportunity to take a quick break and hear a word from some of our sponsors here at Royalty Racing Network. We'll be right back. We are back, folks, as the lights on the pace car have been turned off. I didn't want you to miss any of the potential green flag action as we get ready to go green once again. Let's give you a nice shot here from the starter cam here.
Green flag.
And the caution is already out, and oh no. It might have been the 8 of Jarrett Martin again, finding trouble. And he just gets into the 13. The 14 gets into him, and they kind of accordion. So, back under caution. We'll go back to our sponsored ads here. We'll be right back once again. Stay with us. Hopefully, we'll get some green flag racing in here shortly. We're back once again here as they stack them up after the 8th caution already in 49 laps. And Latham Joyner continues to lead Dylan Canova to his outside. Jacob Wilson still runs third. Jim Thorndike will start on that outside lane in fourth. As Latham Joyner, big jump now to start out. Jacob Wilson, as he's been able to do every restart, going to take a quick look to the inside of the 70 to no avail, though. Chris Pierce was looking good, trying to get a move on Thorndike. Not going to happen, though, and caution out a 9th time already. Something here showing it's the 4 of Jeremy Gill involved. And it was, but not due to his own mistake. It was 14 of Rob Higgs Jr. locked him up and went onto the apron, I should say. And take one more look at it from Rob Higgs Jr. See, he's a little loose, maybe. He didn't actually lock him up. Maybe just entered too much speed. Brady Floyd involved as well. So, anyway, back to the front. Your top 10 is Latham Joyner, Dylan Canova, Jacob Wilson, Jim Thorndike, Chris Pierce, Aaron Brown, Justin Waddell, Randy Schuler, and Brady Floyd in 9th due to the pit stops this time. Kelly Akron is running 10th. He's up 10 spots. We will have to get another word with Mr. Akron. Avoiding all the trouble so far, it would appear, at least most of it. Fortunately for him, Marty White, good bounce back so far. The cautions helped getting him back on the lead lap. But now he's got that 69 SM Racing Products machine back in 12th. He's up 9 currently. Jarrett Martin up 5. He's still running 13th. He's doing all right. Not doing bad at all. Jake Raven is up 10. We could get a word with him also. Some big movers here now. Your biggest mover as we line them up again to go green is Aaron Brown, up 17 spots. And 6 of your 8 playoff drivers are running in the top 10 right now. Kenny Coco, as you see there, down 5 laps, but may very well get all of them back. We'll see how it plays out. I'd like it to go green for a while, as I'm sure the race car drivers and you guys would. Latham Joyner off to another good start. We've seen that already 9 times tonight. Aaron Brown on the outside, he's making it work. Justin Waddell just behind him, having himself a good night. He sits in the 7th spot currently in the Captain Crutch 33, and another caution.
Really doing a great job, man. We'll keep working.
Looks like, who was this one? Jeremy Gill, maybe again involved. Not saying again it was him, but see where the source of it was. Oh, it was just a self-spin. Drafty Beef involved just slightly. Gill's going to have some damage. What happened to J.D. Van Kirk? It looked like he was involved in something after, as we already saw Gill straighten it out, but Van Kirk was sideways. Oh, and just as we said, the 19 of Akron. Good job driving that truck, though, by Van Kirk to steer that thing into the back end with the wall, or I'm sorry, into the wall with the back end, rather. That'll avoid any serious damage. Still about half our field here left to pit because they haven't really had to use tires. Your top 5 have not pitted. Aaron Brown on 15, probably due to being wrapped up in an incident back in the field, I would say. Justin Waddell yet to come down pit road. Brady Floyd pitted on 31. We saw that due to damage. Your next 3, Randy Schuler, Jeff Lemire, and Jarrett Martin, have not pitted yet. Kelly Akron has not either. Jake Raven is up 9, and he's running 15th currently before we reset him. And then Jeremy Gill not pitting yet either, despite the damage we saw he might have on the race truck after that last one. But they are about to go too wide, as now we see the 11 of Kenny Coco get yet another lap back. We said he might get all 5 back, and he may very well do so. Heavily damaged truck there, but doing just fine right now. I have to believe it's bittersweet to see all these cautions, and what I mean by that is he is an admin of the league and the series, so I don't think he's enjoying all of the cautions for that reason, but being 5 laps down, he's probably enjoying them for a different reason. And we were not live. I apologize. We're still looking. Oh, now that we're live. Latham Joyner let us off like he did all the time, but this time he's got company with the 70 of Canova to his outside. Let's see, and we're already under caution again. Jim Thorndike this time. Let's see what happened here. And nothing yet. Oh, he just got loose off exit. Not sure why there was a caution. I don't think there should have been a caution there. nevertheless, we don't make the rules on what is a caution. Jeremy Gill electing to come in now? No, it said he was in. What are we doing here? Maybe he did come in. I don't know. Oh, yeah. All right. He is in along with Rob Hicks Jr. Got to remember to hit the live button, Joshua. Let's talk to someone here. Randy Schuler, if he's around. We will get him. He's not. Everyone I pick is not around, but someone's got to be around, huh? Jake Raven, we'll get him from Coco E Motorsports here. Jake Raven drives the 37. Oh, look out. Coming in with the entrance. Jake, what's up, man?
Hey, not too much.
How you feeling? You're up 10 spots. I know the racing hasn't been great. Ton of cautions already. We're at 11. But how's the truck feel based off what you can say for now?
The truck feels great. I kind of came into this race. I knew I wasn't in the running anymore, and I was like, you know what? My goal is just to finish with a 0x. I'm probably going to jinx myself because I'm at 0x still, even having all those cautions happen around me.
Oh, yeah, that's a dangerous thing to say.
Yeah, that's all I'm really shooting for. Just to survive and finish with as little incidents on me as possible. That's the goal. So if I happen to finish high, then that's cool. If not, then I'm okay with that still.
Well, right on, man. We wanted to talk to somebody. Everyone I was picking out of the hat was not available. You're one of our biggest movers, so I'm looking forward to seeing you up front here later in the race, and hopefully we'll get some green flag racing in here shortly.
All right.
All right, good luck.
Yep, see ya.
That was the 37 of Jake Raven as they take the green flag here. The caution laps go quick. Let's watch Mr. Raven for just a little while, as it looks like he may have just been involved in something after he said he was at a 0x. Not sure. Let's see here. Jim Thorndike was the first one to pop up that was involved in a wreck. Oh, Nick Raffini now. Shane locks it up. Jorge Ledesma involved. We're not even gonna try to dissect what might have happened there. For those of you at home, what do you guys got going on this evening? You tell me what you might be sipping on. Is it milk? Is it water? I want to see from you in the chat what you're enjoying to maybe get through this race. See some responses here, guys. Morgan is at work and drinking coffee. I'm assuming you're working the night shift tonight, Morgan? We have some takers down pit road. Nick Raffini in the 03 is down there. The 10 of Aaron Brown, I didn't see him involved in the caution, but he may have been. Interesting deal up front here. Our top 5 are all playoff drivers, which will make it awfully interesting for next week's race, which I would hope is a lot cleaner. Folks, we're going to Watkins Glen next week for the elimination race. And not only the elimination race, but a race that is leading into the championship round. So that race next week will determine who is our final 4. That will be interesting for sure. Latham Joyner will take us back to green like he's already done 13 times or 13 times before here. Jumps out to a good lead. Jacob Wilson still trying to figure out how to get around the 70 of Dylan Canova. Oh, and we see it happen, Waddell. Oh, nearly spins. No caution. Keep it going, boys, please. Oh, come on.
Whenever you can, but doing a really good.
I know it couldn't have been for this. Maybe for this. All good there. Oh, gosh. And then Jarrett Martin just ran into the 33, which ran into the 22. Man, oh, man. Whew, this is getting pretty hard to watch here, folks. Let's watch. It wasn't the 22's fault. He had nowhere to go. Jarrett Martin just, I think, wanted to stay out of the wall, rightfully so, but then got into the 33. Saw Raffini took heavy damage. Or not Raffini, Rob Hicks Jr. took heavy damage there. Or Ledesma involved again. Kenny Coco may have been, I don't know. Drafty Beef trying to come back in up through the field. So we take a look at Rob Hicks Jr. now in pits. And folks, Latham Joyner may elect to not even have to take tires in this one the way we're going here. But Dylan Canova did this time, and he's going to restart this one in 17th. That could be dangerous for him, but we'll see if the strategy pays off. I'm not quite sure. Joyner continues to lead. Jacob Wilson is happy to see the 70 out of his way, as he was flirting with second place for a long time there and just never could get clear of the 70 before another caution flag would come out. So we will see what happens with the 70 electing to pit now. Amber says she's sipping on wild cherry Pepsi and cheering on Jarrett Martin. He's still doing all right, but he's got to get it together just a little bit like all of these drivers do. Robbie Miner says high quality H2O. Yes, sir. Got to stay hydrated for this one. As they're back green here after caution 13. Yes, you heard that right. Caution 13. Jacob Wilson there now. Brady Floyd and Randy Schuler doing battle here. Good racing right here. Schuler. Oh my goodness. The caution is out again. Let's see what it might have been here. Nick Raffini. Dylan Canova involved. I said it. See if we can't find him and go back to this. Not that. Holy moly. Right here, we want it. See what happened. All good right here. Just, kind of checks up because he saw the 8 of Jarrett Martin going around just a little bit. It's easy to see what happened there. Once again. Well, folks, I'm a broadcaster, and Jarrett Martin is having himself a rough night. That is analyzation from me, but he is not alone, folks. A lot of people out here having rough nights. We see 60 of Shane King, little bit of damage. He's not doing too bad. We got Aaron Brown in again. Jarrett Martin looking to get a little bit of damage fixed. Rob Higgs Jr. in for damage as well. A lot of damage on the 14 there. Timothy Presley's still in, looking to get damage fixed. And Michael Weissman looks like he may have been in, or something happened to Weissman. Not quite sure. But there's the three of Latham Joyner still leading the way. Led basically every lap, I think. Yeah, Amber, it's all right. You know, we all have these nights at the racetrack, and I've been there, coincidentally, at this very track last season. You guys, if you were watching, saw me do very similar to what these gentlemen are doing this evening, so not judging the man by any means. But still hoping 82 laps into this thing that we're going to get a good green flag run in. It gives me some doubt with how things have been going, but it makes me wish and hope that we can, because I want to take you throughout the field to watch some good racing all the way through, not just on the front row. We'll go green once again after caution 14, and Latham Joyner will lead the way again. Another good jump as Jacob Wilson in the 51 went out try to defend second place. Top four are still all playoff drivers. They're liking it the way it's sitting. They're not liking the cautions, I promise you. Kelly Akron doing well. No, hold on to it, 60. Keep it green, guys. No need for a caution yet. As we now see this field start to thin just a bit. Rob Higgs Jr. still in. Michael Weissman not out there. Timothy Presley still on pit road, but back to Latham Joyner. Growing a lead ever so slightly now, since he's gotten more than one lap to do so. Very spread out now. Jim Thorndike might have a chance to make a move here on the 13 of Christian Proctor. Jeremy Gill still having a good run here. Ninth with damage. Canova looking to make his way back up through the field there as we see him try to get past J.D. Van Kirk, and he does, and another caution now. Might have been the 19 of Akron, who was having himself a great night a little bit earlier. And he spins her around, doesn't touch anything, but enough to bring out the caution. Back live we go, and we will step aside here. Topless Racing says too much damage to return. Understandable. Sorry about the way that went tonight, sir. We'll step aside and hear from our sponsors once again, and we'll be right back, folks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, during the commercial break, we did see Latham Joyner elect to go down pit road. So for the first time tonight, we will have a new leader, and it is the 51 of Jacob Wilson. And to his outside will be the 65 of Chris Pierce, followed by Brady Floyd and Christian Proctor in the 13. And we're going green for a 16th time tonight with 91 of 150 completed. Jacob Wilson will lead the way as Chris Pierce will tend to Brady Floyd, who also falls back just a bit now. Christian Proctor settles in. Dylan Canova already making his way through the field nicely. Very quick is Canova. Jeremy Gill now trying to fend off Joyner, and he'll just give him that spot. Joyner on fresh tires, and we've seen all season how quick he can be. Jeremy Gill still having himself a good run. 7th place. J.D. Van Kirk in 8th. Marty White in 9th. Jake Raven rounds out your top 10. He's currently our biggest mover. Up 14 spots. And now Randy Schuler trying to battle with Jim Thorndike. He's on the outside, Thorndike on the inside. The 59 of Thorndike will have to be patient here, though, with 37 in front of him, though, as Marty White might have locked him up right in front of him. Oh, look out, keep it straight, Marty. Some good driving there by Marty White to keep it straight, but he will lose many positions. Shane King now up into 14th. Having a good run so far, up 2. Jacob Wilson continues to lead at the top of the field. Chris Pierce getting battled now by Latham Joyner. It didn't take him long to go through the field. He's already back up into 2nd, and as it was about 20 laps ago, your top 5 is all playoff drivers. Let's take a look at Kenny Cooko. A lot of damage on there, but still battling hard for every point and every opportunity here. Currently running in 17th, 4 laps down now, but he's got some people in front of him like Nick Raffini, who is the current lucky dog, 1 lap down. Jorge Ledesma Jr. would be next, 3 laps down. So Kenny Cooko not in a great spot right now as we see him bring it down pit road, and that's not going to help matters. I wonder if the 11 is pulling it in for the final time tonight. Aaron Brown also down pit road. He's a playoff driver. Not quite sure what's going on with those 2 guys. But Latham Joyner is retaking the lead. I would have showed it to you, but it wasn't much of a battle. Jacob Wilson will settle back in where he's been familiar with in 2nd. He's been running mostly 3rd. So still up 5 spots for Wilson. That is a good night at the racetrack so far for him. Our longest green flag run has come right here, folks. As now we see the 70 of Canova start to pressure the 65 and get to 3rd now. A lot of trucks on pit road, maybe calling it an evening. The 19 is down there. Aaron Brown, Rob Higgs Jr. starting to come to an end for some of these guys tonight, as Latham Joyner starts to work out his lead, and every truck that he laps will make it harder for guys like Jorge Ledesma Jr. and Drafty Beef, who find themselves laps down to try to get back on the lead lap, although at this time I'd have to believe they're just hoping for a green flag run like we're getting right now. Brady Floyd rounds out your top 5. Kucko and Brown sit 18th and 19th. Those are playoff drivers. We had one playoff driver not make it this evening, and now the caution is out again, and it was once again Jarrett Martin who just went around, and not sure why the caution came out. Let's see if it was Shane King who brought out the caution. I got notified that he wrecked as well. See if we can't find it. Oh yes, okay, he did go around. Once again though, not sure why that brought out the caution. Very finicky officials here at Martinsville Speedway tonight as we see multiple leaders come in after a green flag run, maybe try to set themselves up now to compete with Joyner, Canova. Myers coming in. He's up 22 right now, but he'll restart. No, he thought he was pitting there, but he's not. Lemire, regardless, having himself a day, up 22 spots, and I'd love to bring an interview to you guys with him, but he is not around to speak with, so that will not be happening. But anyway, clear as day, your biggest mover. Jake Raven in 37 having himself a good night still, up to 5th currently. Now, things have changed slightly just due to pit stops. Your top 2 are playoff drivers, but those other 3 now sit 7th, 8th, and 9th as we take a look at them on screen. That's Brady Floyd, Jacob Wilson, and Chris Pierce. Real quick, we'd like to thank Anthony Hutchinson and all the great folks at H&W Electrical for being the title sponsor of this season and top tier racing series for the last 2 seasons. Actually, we do have a new title sponsor coming in at the end of the season. We'll tell you about that near the end or after the race, but we get ready to go back green flag racing again, and Latham Joyner will lead the way. Once again, he's back up front. Battling the 70 of Canova once again with slightly older tires, so Joyner should run away a little bit. Got a little bit of a pack right here. Lemire up to 3rd, who just pitted not too long ago. Those guys that just pitted this last caution are right here. That's Chris Pierce in the 65 and Brady Floyd in the 20. And another caution, guys.
Kind of talk me through what's going on. Just
Hate to say it, but another caution. Man, the 13 of Proctor just got loose and went up to the wall. Couldn't save it. Back under caution as we work 113 of 150. We'll take this chance to tell you that our new sponsor for the series next year is Trisha's Learning Center. Brought to you by Kenny Kucko's mother, Trisha's Learning Center. sponsoring the season and the series for the first time next season. So welcome in Trisha's Learning Center. We're excited to have you guys a part of the series and a part of the broadcast. So thank you, Trisha. I'm going to step away here briefly, get a drink of water, try to get this dry frog out of my throat here, and we'll be right back. Back again, working the 17th caution of the race. Yep, that is correct, folks. 17 cautions. So far, rough night at the track for the boys here of the H&W Electrical Series. That's all right. They'll get through it and move on to Watkins Glen next week. That'll be a fun one. All the action will be right here at Royalty Racing Network as usual. We're going green again, and Latham Joyner will lead the way. Jake Raven now for the 3 spot, pressures the 15 of Lemire. Brady Floyd is that 20 truck who elects to go outside and also pass Lemire potentially. Jake Raven all the way up to in the 3rd. Kelly Akron, hold it together, buddy. He's in the wall on the outside. Keep it green so far. Here's some good racing. J.D. Van Kirk in the 22. Up 10/11 if he can get past the 65 of Chris Pierce. That's a good race right now. Lemire still hanging tough with Brady Floyd. Driving really well tonight is Lemire. Some of these non-playoff guys, they want to sponsor, geez. They want to spoil the night for some of these guys. Boy, oh boy, back under caution again. It looks like Randy Schuler this time. Was there contact between him and the 51? Nope, self-spin. Up to the wall. That's another one that shouldn't have been a caution, but is anyway. So let's see where we're at here. Shane King, last car on the lead lap as of right now, it would appear. Let's see. It is that way. Jorge Ledesma quietly is enjoying these cautions as he gets a lap back every time that there is one. He'll now find himself only 1 lap down from the lead pack with that, so he'd like at least one more and get back on the lead lap. Kenny Cucco, though, 11 laps. I don't think that's going to happen. Drafty Beef might get a couple back here. We'll have to see how it shakes out. Speaking of Drafty Beef and Press Gas Haul Ass, let's hear some words from Press Gas Haul Ass and see their great work and great pricing. We'll be right back. Folks, we are back just after the green flag this time. But Latham Joyner leads. Nothing new there. Dylan Canova second. Jake Raven still sitting third. Nice run. Up 21. Chris Pierce is in fourth, battling the 20 of Brady Floyd. Jeff Lemire now starting to fall back just a bit. Maybe that green flag run impacted the tires more than expected. JD Van Kirk runs 8th. And Christian Proctor battling the 51 of Jacob Wilson, trying to get up to the top of the group again after he pitted early. Oh, and trouble for Van Kirk as they split him. Nice driving there. Oh no, as we see Proctor go around. And man, oh man, that brings out our caution, and I don't know why. That's at least the third caution tonight that we've watched, replayed, or live. And there shouldn't have been one. Proctor probably, hey, he's okay with it, right? I mean, he was going to be the last car in the lead lap anyway after losing all that ground. So he wouldn't have lost more positions due to 16th place on back being at least one lap down. But he got it going just fine again and, you know, tap the wall. I don't know, but whatever. What are we going to do? We're not making the call on the cautions being thrown. Either are the admins. It's all controlled by iRacing. And Jarrett Martin may have called it a night. He is not on track currently or in the pits. This next time we're going to try to ride along with the 37 of Jake Raven. Give you a look here if we can stay green long enough to give you a look at just how much he's working that wheel, the throttle, all of those things inside the car. So we'll do that this next time as we go green here shortly. And I'll kind of just remain silent, let you hear the throttle work and see the steering of the 37 of Jake Raven, who's going to start us off in third. So should get a good view of how tight the racing is from the 37 of Raven, as we're now inside 20 to go. Marty, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Rough race for sure, but hey, it happens. Second time in 2 years we've seen it happen at this track. Maybe that says something as we're green again. Let's go to the cockpit here if I can find it. There's the 37 of Raven. Right along with him this whole lap here. You can see, folks, how much he's working the throttle and the brake. He's off the gas a very, very long time. And he is steering a lot. You saw a lot of movement there with the wheel, trying to fight that thing and keep her going in the right direction, and he's doing a fantastic job of it. Chris Pierce follows him currently in the 4th spot. Jacob Wilson in the 51, finally up to the top 5 once again after pitting on lap 107. 4 out of your top 5 are playoff drivers. They would be happy to see it end the way it is right now, I'm sure, but Brady Floyd in the 20 running 8th would have something to say about that. Aaron Brown, rough night. He's probably done for the playoffs, I'd assume, unless he comes out to Watkins Glen next week and gets a win. We saw Brady Floyd just get loose there momentarily and drop a couple spots. Brown is sitting in 21st. Kenny Cucko is, as we see Marty White.
Get more acclimated to it, or it's still difficult?
Marty White went around again. It looked like Marty White. Could have been wrong, but anyway, under caution again. But Latham Joyner leads. We're going to have less than 10 to go here when we take the green flag again. Watching the 3 of Joyner still lead the way under caution. Give you a brief rundown what we are saying here. Before that caution, Kenny Cucko gonna find himself in a little bit of hot water leading into Watkins Glen. But make no mistakes, folks, if there is somebody that can win a race when it's on the line and it's either go home or move on to the championship race, it'd be this guy in the 11. So we'll see how that plays out. And Aaron Brown not on track any longer. Looks like he's called it a night, but he will have work to do. Let's take a look quickly at our playoff picture as they pace around. Adrian Fernandez was the guy that we haven't called his name yet tonight because he's the playoff driver that hasn't made it to the race. So tough break for Fernandez. He will definitely be in a must-win situation next week as well. Aaron Brown will more than likely move ahead of him simply because he started the race. But not a great spot for those 3, Kenny Cucko, Fernandez, or Brown, heading in to Watkins Glen next week. I'm sure Jake Raven is kicking himself right now, wishing he would have made it last week. He would have been in good spot to continue that success and make it on to the championship race. By the way, tonight is going. Yeah, Derek Catt, 20th caution flag. I will say, Derek, the racing has been phenomenal up until this race, as of late. Basically, since I took over the broadcast, oh my goodness, another caution here. No coincidence of me being in the broadcast booth, of course, but this race is the one that got us big time last season, unfortunately, and it's getting them again. And so maybe that will be enough to not put this track on the schedule next year, I would hope, or next season rather, not next year. But let's take a look at the caution. Brady Floyd, I believe, was involved. He was, and he just basically booted the 60, tried to throw it in there. That was just what we saw before, but probably at this point, folks, some frustration building. Yeah, that's true, Derek. We know it wasn't mine or your fault. So, Martinsville is always a problem. You are exactly right. We will more than likely have what they tried to make a natural green-white checkered here, I'd have to think, but lights still on, and they'd have to rack them and stack them one more time. So watch those pace lights from this view here. They have not went out just yet. So this will be a green-white checkered flag here. I'd have to believe probably, like I say, a natural one, which fortunately for them, they get one other attempt at it if that is the case. I know they'd like to finish it under green despite the fact that Latham Joyner has led the way almost the whole way. It's been a long way to get here, folks. So wrapping up this Martinsville playoff race, as now we see the drivers begin to go 2 by 2 here, getting ready to go back to green with 2 to go. So they will take the green flag. The next one will be the white flag, and the third time they cross the line will be the checkered flag. So that's basically what a green-white checkered is, but this one's a natural one. Is Latham Joyner is off. We're going to keep it right here just in case they keep it green. Dylan Canova had a little pressure from Chris Pierce. That settles down. Canova, look out, he almost got into the back. Oh, what happened to Raven? He might have pulled it out of line to let the playoff drivers battle it out, or he might have got tight. I'm not sure. This is the white flag, and the 3 of Latham Joyner will take the win. At least we got to see it end under green flag conditions. I'm happy about that. Dylan Canova comes in second. Chris Pierce third. Jacob Wilson fourth. All 4 playoff drivers there as we see Joyner begin to celebrate his victory. Take a look here at the race results. I mentioned the top 4. Jim Thorndike brought home a top 5. Very nice run. Jeff Lemire, really great run. Our biggest mover on the night, up 19 spots for Lemire. Jake Raven dropped to 7th on that final restart. Still a good run from him. J.D. Van Kirk finished 8th, and Nick Raffini 9th. Jorge Ledesma finished 10th. Really nice top 10 there from Ledesma after battling back. Jeremy Gill finished 11th. Marty White also battled back to finish 12th. Chris Pierce finished 13th. Shane King in 14th. Drafty Beef in 15th. Brady Floyd 16th. That's going to put him in a bad spot to start the second round next week at Watkins Glen. Randy Schuler finished 17th. Kenny Kuko finished 18th, also in a rough spot going into next week at Watkins Glen. Kelly Akron had a really good night early and just could not keep it up or avoid enough wrecks. He finishes 19th. Jarrett Martin finishes 20th. Aaron Brown 21st. He was our lowest finisher of the playoff drivers that started the race. He's in a tough spot going into next week. Justin Waddell 22nd. Rob Higgs Jr. finishing 23rd. And Michael Weissman 24th. Timothy Presley finished 25th, rounding out the field. Everyone from 15th on back was at least 3 laps down. Shane King finished on the lead lap. And as you see, we get to Kelly Akron, and that's where some guys started calling it very early. We're going to take a quick break here before we start the post-race show and hear from your top 3 finishers, but we will be right back, folks. Stay with us. We are back, folks. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get the third place finisher, Chris Pierce. Oh, there he is. Let's get him in here. Chris, Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, obviously, tough race, but give us your thoughts on being able to kind of maneuver, stay up front. You had a great run all night. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so believe it or not, it's my first race at this track, so I was doing a little bit of learning throughout the race, but I was told last season, it was going to be a rough one, so goal was just take it slow, keep it on track, and, take advantage when you can, and yeah, I think we had some good pace, and we stayed out of trouble, and it's kind of all it was.
Yeah, you look great all night long. You were battling up there near the front with the exception of your pit stop. I mean, that didn't come till lap 107, so I'm assuming with all the cautions you didn't really feel the need till a little bit later after a long green flag run to go in and get tires, right?
I mean, from the beginning we were considering if we could make it on fuel. I know Jacob Wilson and I think we're trying to make it, but it looked like we were like 2 or 3 short. So I think we were shooting for fuel, but opportunity didn't really work out. So probably should have pitted when the leaders in Latham did, but worked out in the end.
Oh yeah, for you guys to bring home third and then Jacob to bring home fourth. I mean, great showing for you guys for sure. You're a playoff driver, Chris. This has to set you up for the showdown next week at Watkins Glen pretty well, right? How you feel about next week's race?
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of my stronger suits. I know when we went to Sonoma, I think I finished second behind Peyton, who's not racing anymore. So I think we got a good shot at some points there. feeling pretty good about making it into next round, but we'll see. I know Brady Floyd did not have a great night tonight. He was kind of on the bubble. So I'm not sure if any of my teammates are going to make it through, but looking forward to next week for sure.
Yeah, there were a couple playoff drivers that could have used a very strong night this evening and found themselves in some trouble. But you put yourself in a good spot going into next week. Before we let you go, celebrate this podium, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank the guys at Adria for racing with me, giving me tips, that sort of thing. Thanks to the league for putting this on. It's always fun to come out and race. And thanks for you guys for broadcasting. Always fun to go back and watch it and watch it live if you're not there. So thanks for doing that.
Yes, sir. You are welcome. Thank you. Thanks for putting on a show tonight. We'll see you back here next week.
Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, folks, that was the 65 of Chris Pierce, who brought home third this evening. Next, we are going to get with the 70 of Dylan Canova. We have heard from him and spoke with him a lot over the last few weeks. Dylan, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got.
Dylan, you have another strong performance tonight. We saw you up at the front the majority of the time until you decided to pit and then got all the way back up to the front in a hurry. So tell us about your thoughts on the race and your own personal race.
I think, personally, we had a decent race. I think we had the speed to really battle with Latham until we pitted. I think hitting early was the move, but we got caught up in some calamity, took some right front damage and right rear damage that just kind of made the truck a little too tight after that. So kind of let Latham basically have a free shot at it as long as he stayed clean, which he did on his pit stop. But the race overall, there's really not much to say. Not much racing. I think there were one or two times I got under Latham, and then we had one where I was able to hang on his outside. But as the race seemed to go, it was killed by a caution pretty quick.
Yeah, unfortunately, every time we saw someone try to give Latham a run for his money, there was a really quick caution. We saw it from you, as you mentioned. We saw it from Jacob Wilson when he had some opportunities up front. Overall, I mean, good race up front, though. Latham just too fast. But this sets you up really well for the second race of the playoffs. I asked Chris Pierce about it, who we just spoke to. How do you feel personally about going into Watkins Glen next week?
Watkins Glen is the one of two road courses I've won at. So it's not the worst. It's probably the closest road course to an oval in terms of it's a pretty simple road course, not a lot of crazy hairpins or anything like that. So I'm not too worried about it. I think that was kind of once we got through that second stage and I realized I had to damage. It was more about damage control to stay up front and set up points for there, because I definitely think we can finish towards the top part of the field there and just kind of move on to Homestead and don't want to risk wrecking the truck or anything like that and taking ourselves out, because that's really the biggest enemy there. Is once we get going, is your biggest enemy is going to be yourself.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it sounds like you're really confident. That's always a good way to feel going into any race, but for sure an elimination race. Of course, second place, with a couple of your playoff competitors not having the best night tonight puts you in a really good spot. So anyone you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you go celebrate this one?
Yeah, everybody over at Revved Up Racing. Good team to work together. Dalco Paving, Dalco Asphalt, Victory Fuel, Adrenaline Capture, Adrenaline Performance, Excellence Realty, Autism Awareness. There's a big thing for me. And, you for putting on the broadcast. I'm sure that was a tough one to go through. The admins for putting this on. They're going to have a ton of work over the next couple of days. I'm glad I'm not in their shoes. And just kind of everybody that shows up, lets us race, and everybody who tunes in to watch it, even though they did not get the best showing this week.
Hey, man, it happens sometimes. Last season, same type of result at Martinsville. I've mentioned it a couple times. You know, everyone has those nights, but just happens to be at this track for this series, it appears. But good run tonight. Appreciate the shout out and the thanks, and we appreciate you as well, always giving us a show out there. And we'll see you back out here next week for the elimination race, man.
Thank you. See y'all then.
Yep. Once again, folks, that was the 70 of Dylan Canova, who we have spoke to a lot, and someone we've spoke to after getting into the winner's circle a lot this season, and he's back there this evening, is the 3 of Latham Joyner. Latham, you led basically all way with the exception of when you decided to pit. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, obviously feels good to come out here and pretty much have the race go basically smooth for myself. Obviously not smooth from probably your perspective.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough race for probably everybody at some point in time, with the exception of yourself. But you were on easy street pretty much anytime we checked in with the front of the field. You got one long green flag run I want you to talk to us about. How did the truck feel during that long green flag run, kind of around the 100 lap mark?
Yeah, I mean, obviously compared to everybody else, I felt better because I had got to pit and take some tires. The setup was really tighter than what I had thought it was going to be. So you really had to back up the corners a lot. And honestly, I was shifting in 1 and 2. And then you just had to really ease into the throttle off of 1 and 2 to keep it up under you. I know Dylan tried to shift, and he said he couldn't keep the right rear under him, probably with his damage or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, it was honestly just pretty smooth. Like, it never wanted to really step out for me. I know a bunch of people went up on brake bias. Obviously, I went down because it was tight. If you do that, you really can't race hard. Like with Dylan, I know got to my outside there almost at the end of stage 2, and we were getting pretty racy, and I almost lost it under him. So if I really would have had a race, I would have probably had to make some adjustments on the brake bias. But obviously, we didn't get that much racing in.
Didn't have a ton of it. Dylan alluded to that himself. There was a couple times there where he did feel like he had something for you, but then it'd be canceled by caution. Jacob Wilson, same kind of thing. He was looking to your outside a couple times. Every time we'd look, it was like, okay, well, during that green flag run, you really started to separate from the pack a little bit, then get separated. I will say, though, there were at least 3 cautions from my point of view that probably shouldn't have been cautions. I think with such a narrow track, not really an infield per se, it's small apron. iRacing is quick to throw those cautions, but nevertheless, not the best or cleanest race we've ever seen. Anyway, you lock yourself in now to the championship race. You've been dominant all season long. For one, just real quick, how do you feel at Watkins Glen next week? And then take us through what your plan is for the championship race to win it all.
Yeah, so obviously I was really hoping on this race to go as well as it did, and obviously it did, so that's pretty good luck on my side for once. But Watkins Glen, obviously a road course. Obviously, I'm sure people are a little bit stronger at road courses. See, the thing is, we ran Sonoma earlier in the year, qualified like 10th or something like that, not very good, but drove up to like, I think, 4th or 5th, and of course that's without yellows or anything like that. So that gives me confidence going into Watkins Glen. Obviously, a lot of people know Watkins Glen a little bit better than Sonoma, and that includes myself. So feel a little bit confident there. Shooting for maybe just a top 5. Basically just be clean, get the weekend, and look forward to the last race of the season.
Right. I mean, you're in the best spot. You locked yourself in. You got 2 weeks if you really wanted to work on figuring some things out at Phoenix. But congrats again on the win. Before we let you go, sir, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out this evening?
Yeah, I just want to thank Elite's Cuts by Josh Evans Racing, Excalibur Racing Engines, and then obviously Kenny for letting me be on his team for this season. We're trying to make a late charge for obviously that team championship. I know it's pretty tight there. Just thanks, and honestly to you and also Jorge earlier in the season for broadcasting. I know y'all have had to stretch out some tough races, and I know you've had some good ones as well. So thank y'all as well for all y'all's time.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you, and we appreciate you putting on a show for us and always giving someone to go to and say, hey, yep, he's still in the lead. He's still running the quickest times, all those things. But we'll get back with you. I'm sure we'll see you again next week at Watkins Glen. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Once again, folks, that was our winner from this evening and our current points leader, Latham Joyner, in the 3 truck. As you still see your results displayed on screen there. We're going to take just a brief moment to thank our sponsors just once more here on the evening. First, we'd like to thank all of you for hanging out with us tonight. It was a long one. There was a lot to it, and we made it through. That's as good as we can do. Thank you for all the comments in the chat and keeping me company. Now, onward, we'd like to thank Press Gas Haul Ass Designs. Victory starts with a flawless finish. Contact Drafty Beef on Discord for a quote on your iRacing custom paints today, starting at just $25 for one paint. That is a great deal. Majestic promotional and branded apparel. Whether you run a company, a government agency, sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement with Majestic promotional and branded apparel. Comment for details or send me a message. And finally, but not least, SM Racing Products. Take your sim experience to the next level with custom-made button boxes, dashboards, flag lights, and more with SM Racing Products. Use code ROYALTY at checkout to save 20% on your purchase of over $150. You got to check their products out, folks. Check them out at sm.racingproducts. I'm sorry, sm/racingproducts.com. Man, it's been a long night, you can tell. Well, for those of us at Royalty Racing Network and everyone at the H&W Electrical Top Tier Truck Series, I'd like to wish you all a Happy New Year and a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for the start of a new season. Please join us. Have a good evening. Thanks.